Hello everyone, welcome back to Jaipuria Let's Talk. And today we have with us Akash. Akash is an MBA aspirant and he has given CAT twice, once in 23 and he scored 98.5 percentile and again in 2024 and where he scored 97 percentile. So Akash, what is the secret behind all this? What is your story?
Yeah. So, hello everyone. As you all know, my name is Akash. I started my 10th and 12th in a small town, Bhiwani. Then I moved to MIT University, Haryana for my bachelor's in physics. After that, I wanted to enter the education sector and I decided to leverage all my skills, analytic skills of maths and other things, science. So, I entered IIT Bombay. But as soon as I got there, I was not able to get into the education sector. So, I decided to pivot my career towards an MBA side. After that, while I was in my master's, I gave CAT. And as you know, I was able to get 98.5 percentile. Then again, in 2024, I gave CAT and I was able to get 97 percentile. This time, right now, I am going through the interview phase of the things.
Okay. So and Akash, wow, I heard that you are from IIT Bombay as well. So how was your life at IIT Bombay and how was it like? People want to know.
Yeah, so how I got to IIT Bombay, I gave JAM, not the JEE exam itself.
Okay.
So through JAM, get master's admission. I got there with already a rank of 35. And IIT Bombay is really what you know about it. It is great. There's a big ground for everything. There are indoor grounds, outdoor grounds, so all the sports and other things. There is also incentives to have departmental or academic level positions. So I was also departmental representative for my physics department. I was also international students mentor who is responsible for inclusion and academics well-being of the international students that are coming from various colleges, various countries. And also I was the hostel sports counselor. So there are incentives that you have these responsibilities. These responsibilities make all the time that you spend at IIT Bombay a lot of more fun. Academic wise, the IIT Bombay curriculum is very rigorous.
Yeah.
It takes lots of guts to be there and then continuously work day in, day out again and again, and then score low and then still go on preparing.
Right. And what was this? What was the idea or the story behind this shift from physics and PCM to this academic life? What was the idea behind it?
Definitely a unique story because a lot of students don't go after master itself for a second master.
Yeah.
So I decided while I was in masters that I want to do something that I can grow in my career. That has a lot of potential still now. The education sector, as we all know, some companies were going bankrupt. Their valuation was going zero. So the incoming placements was not very high. So while I was there itself, I decided to, what area I can grow in. The area that comes to mind was MBA itself. Going in a sector of business will definitely help me in my career. And having an IIT Bombay tag will also help in the long term.
So true. True.
So I decided, if I have IIT IM tagline behind my name, career can grow. So that was the foundational idea. After that, I started exploring, asking for advice, different MBA students at the IIT Bombay itself also. That was the basic motivation.
Yeah, very true. That you need a branding for that future reference also.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids want that IIT branding. So again, bring your marks again, 98.5 percentile, right? So how do you get there, right? What is the preparation? What is your mental state during all this? How was your experience with the preparation?
Yeah, so it has a lot of depth. The answer requires a lot of depth. You start with, of course, you need a buffer of at least 6 to 9 months to start preparing for the exam itself. So you should start preparing the Feb itself because it takes a lot of time to build the foundation itself. The exam has 3 sections, as you all know, VRC, LRDI and Quants. For all the 3 sections, we require a different kind of approach. For VRC, we need to have that intuitive sense of when the structure is going out of flow or there's an inflow. The reading speed should be very high because RC, you have 4 RCs and you have about 30 to 20 minutes to solve all of them. Depends on your approach towards it, but I started with the approach to solve all of them and then also solve the VA section also. So you need to have speed. That requires a lot of stamina itself because you need to stay focused for those 40 minutes. So start with reading some things like book, maybe a newspaper article. That's the best approach. That's the cost-effective approach as well. For the LRDI section, you need to at least solve 500 questions of various technicalities. It should be from different sections of the LRDI itself. You should not only focus on LR or DI. There should be a balanced approach where you can handle unexpected questions in the exam itself. So preparing for both of them and juggling both of them and having a mindset that you can actually handle them in the stressful environment of the exam itself is also very requirement. For quant, I was naturally very good at it because I was doing maths all the time. That was my playground like of thing. So quants did not take a lot of efforts for me, but usually it is said that okay, for quants you need to have some basics correct. Arithmetics is one thing, algebra is one thing. So all of these things requires at least 6 to 9 months of preparation. You need to build the stamina and it takes time. After that, giving mocks is a must. At least giving one mock per twice a week is a requirement. And then after that, at the end, last 3 months, giving 4 mocks per month is also very necessary. Building on that also, just giving mock is not enough. You should look at what was your result, what are the areas that you are lacking at, and then on top of that, reviewing all of them again after some time because we tend to forget what we have done.
Yeah.
So maintaining notes of everything, these things are what should be
very important.
Yeah.
And you talked about a lot of these sections, right? So like, what was your? I know that quants was your favorite section, right?
Yeah.
And this is a very common issue with people as well, students as well, that they like one thing and they keep doing that particular thing only, right?
Yeah.
And they keep pushing away the other sections. So what do you think? How should people tackle this particular scenario?
Yeah, this is a fact that people tend to just work on their strong points and then leave the weaker points. And this is a wrong strategy, as I think. There should be a strong ground and there should be a middle ground. There should be no low ground for the preparation itself. Supposedly you are good in algebra and quants. So you can prepare amazingly for quants in algebra, but keeping other subjects also is very important. There should be arithmetics that should get at least some time. And other than that, if you're good at quants whole itself, then giving a lot of time to LRDI and RC becomes a must. Because it's an assumption that you will score good in quants in the exam itself. So you need to get through the selection process. And for that, the RC, VA, LR and DI, all of them require a lot of time. So if you are strong at some point, if you have good repo in that area, you should not leave it all behind or give it all the time. You should give it minimal time that is required to brush up your skills again and again, and rest of the time should be dedicated towards the areas where you are weaker. So you can actually build, at least get it not weak and not strong, but in the middle somewhere.
True. So you have to work on your weaknesses as well.
Yeah.
Not just focus on the strong suits.
Yeah.
That's very true. And let's talk about resources, right? What are the resources that you talked about newspapers and reading articles, right? So what about quants and where do you find these questions to do and practice all this stuff before the actual paper?
Yeah. So it is a very good question because preparation itself sometimes can get very expensive. A lot of coaching classes are charging 70,000, 80,000, but that's something that should be avoided. I think it can be avoided also with lots of efforts. If you have a laptop or something, there are a lot of coaching online coaching websites that are providing daily questions for free. So you can start with just going there. You can start your preparation with that. And if you are not at all prepared, you are not able to score good on those free exams, on those free questions, then you should think about taking coaching classes. But if you are good at them, or even just about to be good at them, not great. So if you are just average, you should avoid taking the coaching classes. Resources that's a very good question because expensive. Yeah. It can be expensive. Education is very expensive nowadays. So, and ROI is very unexpected. Some of the colleges also make it very hard. They charge very high fees. So taking the free exams, taking the free mocks, doing the free questions every day, that should be the first approach. Then they should move ahead, construct a plan. If they are not scoring well, if they need classes, then that thing comes into play.
So preparation can be done in cheap also. Yeah. We cannot really control the price of the degree, but at least preparation is in our hands.
Yeah.
Right, and let's talk about how this transition from your IIT Bombay like physics phase
Yeah.
to this MBA phase. Like, is that like whatever you have learned helping you in any way or form?
Definitely, a lot of things I learned in during IIT Bombay itself. The position of responsibilities I had were managerial in a sense itself. Not a high-stake managerial position, but definitely managerial positions. While I was departmental representative, I was responsible for constructing and forming teams, and then also arranging sessions and workshops to help my juniors and my classmates. Those things help build me my SOP. So I can, when I am in an interview, I can answer, okay, how do you see yourself transitioning from one field to another that is completely unrelated. So these things are actually what helped me. While I was sports counselor for the hostel, I was also responsible for forming quotation of the products that we wanted to buy, the sports products. I was also responsible for bringing people together in a sports event. I was also responsible for taking a higher sports. There is an award called Hostel Sport Award. So there was incentive for me also to have that increased participation in a lot of general championships. All these things help me build that managerial mindset where I can leverage my first principle thinking I learned from physics, which is problem dividing into smaller parts. That can come handy while I'm doing my MBA or I'm in a managerial position. But these soft skills that I've built through my position of responsibilities will also help me.
And I think you believe that anybody can be a manager, like after you build these soft skills and whatnot, right? Anyone can get into this degree. And like, what are like some top B schools that there are IIT Bombays and IIM, sorry, and like what are the like other B schools that you're targeting?
Yeah, so I've divided B schools in two sections. First being the private schools, and the second being the public schools. So the public B schools are, as you all know, the IIMs and the IITs. But after a particular number of IIMs or IITs, we see that they're just brands and they don't have the backing, and that pushes a lot of students to find out about the private B schools. That's how I found out about Jaipuria itself. I was exploring which colleges have a lot of companies that are coming there. Which schools are there that have good PGDM courses itself? They have good branding. They have a good alumni base. That's how I figured out. Jaipuria is a place that stands on all these things and is even better than some of the IITs and IIMs.
And like, what are the metrics that you use to find out if a B school is actually like worth getting into?
So some of the things that I look at is the highest package first of all. That's a very obvious one. Then a unique thing that I found out was that how many placement companies are actually visiting during the placement phase of it. Some of the colleges will brag about 100% placement, but I actually found out if less than 300 companies are actually visiting and the student strata is about 500 or 1000 or more than that, and if lesser than just 300 companies are visiting, then they will definitely not be able to get a lot of students jobs, and they would end up lying on their brochure or anything itself. So these two things I really looked into. Companies that are visiting are also very important. What is their online presence like? The word on the internet, as I said. If they have a good word on the internet, that also matters. Little bit exploring it takes. You have to do some homework for it, but you can actually find out a good knowledge.
So like, are there any websites or channels that you might have seen to like do this research?
The obvious one are Instagram. So you start with Instagram. What is their online presence like? Quora is second. Nowadays Reddit is also growing with time. So these three, there's a Pagal Guy website, there's Siksha. These are the websites that are really good at giving honest feedbacks about this.
Makes sense. And well, like a different question for you. I see, and like a lot of people also see that AI is really growing very fast nowadays, right? So like with time, like after you've done your MBA and you joined a company and like you are growing the ranks, like how do you think like this entire MBA and like managerial positions will change? And do you think that these will actually help you, or like will these stand against like a rival?
Well, I think for me personally, the coming age of the AI will definitely help me. During physics, I was able to learn a bit of AI. Mainly, I was able to learn Python, the Matplotlib, and Pandas. So I have a little bit of touch of AI. Maybe I can build on that also. But in definitely MBA side of it, the AI will personalize all the advertising. The marketing sector will change. The finance sector will change. There will be predictive analytics. And with all these things growing, the MBA itself, the structure will be required to change. Because I have a bit of background in it, I think I'll be at the forefront of it. I'll be able to play it at my front leg. I'll be able to tackle problems that are growing with now. So it's a transition phase in which AI is, in which MBA is going through, and I think the end product will be great.
Yeah. So do you think like everybody, every student that is actually pursuing or wants to pursue MBA, should they like start getting into AI and like learning about AI tools and how to use them?
I don't think they should by themselves go into it. The colleges and the schools will themselves provide a kind of introduction in AI, maybe a specialized course. And if someone is going for MBA in business analytics or something, then they should look into it. But I think most probably colleges will themselves teach. Colleges will have introduction courses, maybe advanced courses, maybe a specialization will come out at the end also. So they should not look into it by themselves. Maybe if they are curious, that's their decision.
Yeah.
But colleges will definitely start
Makes
their
sense,
own.
makes sense. And like, what are your like some golden tips for students that want to pursue an MBA?
So golden tips will be work daily, work smart, don't work hard. Give at least twice the amount that you think an average person will give, but don't let it become a stressful thing. Give 1 hour, 2 hour per day of work, maybe at the end of the day, and be consistent. That's the golden.
I think quantity over quality over quantity,
Yeah,
right?
quality over
Yeah,
quantity.
like you should know what you're reading and understand it. Right. And like before we end this interview, Akash, like where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Like, yeah.
Well, I look at myself growing in the marketing sector itself. In 5-10 years, maybe I'll be at a head position, head of marketing, head of quick commerce marketing, head of engagement. I see myself at that position in 5-10 years.
That's great to